Good morning. The psalm this morning is Psalm 87, and it starts like this. On the holy mount stands the city he founded. The Lord loves the gates of Zion more than all the dwelling places of Jacob. Glorious things of you are spoken, O city of God. It's a common reference in the Psalms to speak of the city of God, God's dwelling place, as a place where the people of God desire to be. What's not so common is what then follows in verses 4, 5, and 6 when it speaks of some of the people who will be residents of this city, who are citizens of this city. In verse 4 it says, Among those who know me, I mention Rahab and Babylon. Behold, Philistia and Tyre with Cush. This one was born there, they say. Isn't that interesting? Babylon, Philistia, Tyre. These are all places where God's enemies dwelled in the past, or maybe even at the moment when this is being written. And yet there are people from these places, from these nations, that can claim citizenship in the city of God. Now, the only way to do that, of course, is to come to faith in the one true God, but it points to the fact that God intends his message of salvation, salvation through a sacrifice provided by the God of Israel, that he intends that message to be one that is proclaimed to all the nations, pointing to the fact ultimately where God's city, his ultimate city that will come, the holy city descending from on high at the end of the age, that will come as a bride fit for her husband, Jesus Christ, that city will be a place of all peoples and all nations and all tribes worshiping God together. Then the psalm concludes with this from verse 7. Singers and dancers alike say, All my springs are in you. All my springs are in you. God intends his city, his presence, the place of his dwelling, to be a place where all of our needs are supplied, where we find ultimate, final, and true refreshment and satisfaction. You know, John Newton, who we've been quoting in some of his letters, wrote a hymn that was based on Psalm 87. It's in our hymnal that we have here in the chair racks. It's hymn 345, and it's called Glorious Things of Thee Are Spoken. And of course, that's referencing verse 3 of Psalm 87. Glorious things of you are spoken, O city of God. But I want to read the second stanza of Newton's hymn because it speaks of the fact that God is our refreshment in times of thirst. It's referencing verse 7, All my springs are in you. Listen to what Newton says. See the streams of living waters springing from eternal love. Well supply thy sons and daughters, and all fear of want remove. Who can faint while such a river ever flows their thirst assuage? Grace which like the Lord the giver never fails from age to age.